We are joined by Crystal Lavallee from I Am Compelled Ministry. Tell me, Crystal, what is it like being here today?
Well, this would be I think it's my sixth or seventh cry.
Oh, wow.
My first cry is in 2001 with
Yeah.
the very first cry. I think I was 16 or 17. And the gentleman who was leading it, he said, look at the peace tower because God's going to give you a vision for your life. And I was like, yeah, right. I was, 16, dirty kid, just skateboarding all over the place
Yeah.
And I looked at that peace tower and I got a vision of somebody plowing through a field and then when they cut through the field they came to a clearing and they just went for it. And I didn't understand what that was at the time, but I heard the Lord say, you're going to raise up a young generation who will follow me with all their heart, soul, mind, and strength and just stand for me. And I no clue, 17 years old, you're like, what is that? And what ended up happening is fast forward, here we are in 2017, and I said, God, everything that happened to me at TheCry in 2001 is exactly what I'm doing, plowing on the field, pioneering a new move of God, raising up young people, reaching young people, and we're basically pointing them to Jesus as best we can within the school sphere, within the First Nation sphere. So this cry it's just good to come to TheCry. It's good to come and pray.
And you're a young person who has been risen up from God and just allowed to just be let loose to minister to other young people as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So tell me about you're going on a trip to Saskatchewan, and
Yes.
it's quite meaningful for you.
Yeah.
You're Métis in background.
Yes.
So you've really been ministering to Indigenous communities as well.
Yes. So I was sharing today, it was actually really interesting. I remember working for Canada in Prayer for a guy named Brian Warren. He don't play.
Yeah.
And Canada in Prayer, they actually, he taught me to fuel revival and, look for revival in Canada. And then he actually released me. So that was my starting point. And so I remember calling the House of Prayer, the National House of Prayer in Ottawa, saying, what's with all these First Nation people? Why are they such a big deal?
Wow.
And then it
Not
wasn't,
knowing you were one of them?
not knowing. So that journey probably started about 5 years ago, where my cousins got their Métis status card. And I said, wait, if you're Métis, then I'm Métis. And we tracked it all the way back to Louis Riel was our ancestor. He was the
Wow.
founding father of Manitoba, who was hung for treason and then later came out as a justice advocate for the Métis people. And he said this statement. He said, it's only by the grace of God that I've become the founder of Manitoba. So he's a believer who fought for the rights of the Métis to preserve their culture, because the Métis, they love life. They're, they love jigging and, the fiddle. And so that ancestry line, where he started was Manitoba, but where he built his resistance was actually in Saskatchewan. And so I feel there's a little bit of an inheritance laid up for me there. And through our ministry and through the work that we're doing, we're going to work with 3 different organizations. So the First Nations Church, we're going to be working with a fiery Spanish church in Toronto and our I Am Compelled team to facilitate a province-wide youth retreat weekend for First Nation.
Wow.
Because the suicide rates are high. And we don't just want to pray, but we also want to go. And we said, God, send us into the dark places and show us what we're made of. If you're real, then you come out and you explode among us and you save the lost and you save those people who are in hopelessness, extreme hopelessness, and in extreme despair. God, we want to see you shine. And so that's what we're doing. So we're getting ready to go. So I leave on Monday and then I'll be back, train our team here on the ground, and then we'll go back the first weekend of September.
Wow. Well, God bless you on that journey, and we just bless you that you're able to do this. Thank you again, Crystal.
Yes, thanks, Maggie.